Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. And in this video, we're going to install AlterLinux. AlterLinux is based on Arch Linux. Let me go over here and let's get started. I've given it my typical 4 gigabytes of RAM, 2 cores of my processor. I've enabled the EFI, turned the video memory all the way up. I have a 56.5 gigabyte hard drive. And I've been thinking about going ahead and getting this started, and when you first see it, I've already booted into it. But I thought this was interesting here that you have the option right off the bat to boot without the boot splash screen. AlterLinux Arch ISO, which is what we're going to do. And it says USB, but as far as it's concerned, that's what it is booting to. We have the shells, 3 shell prompts there, or we could reboot into the firmware interface. Well, I'm going to boot into the regular ISO using the splash screen. I'm really happy to do this. I looked at it a couple months ago, and because of life, I had to put it off for a little while, and I'm going to come back to it. But first of all, Dan over at MyoLinux, he did a review, if you will, on AlterLinux, and he wasn't able to get his volume icon to stay in the panel, and he had to, once he figured out how to do it, he actually posted it on their website. And as we'll see, they must have worked that out. They haven't made a new release for a little while here, for a couple months. However, you can tell, as I said, wow, that's nice, isn't it? The installer is on the desktop, so let's go ahead and get that started if we can before I mess with the display. American English, that is correct. Known issues will open up a website, which we'll see that in a minute here. It correctly selected my time zone, which is in Chicago and America. It correctly selected a QWERTY keyboard, which is what I'm using. And I'm going to do manual partitioning. All right. We're going to need, right now it does not see the hard drive because there's no partition label. Well, we're fixing to assign it one, a GUID. All right, I'm going to left click on the free space. And right here, I'm going to give it 512. And that'll be for our boot EFI, and that will be formatted to FAT32. The mount point will be boot EFI, and right here is the flag for boot. Say OK. And it's already telling us we got a bunch of updates available. Left click on the free space. Next thing I'm going to create is swap. So I'm going to give it 6198, I think is 6 gigs. And for the file system, Linux swap, and as you'll see, there's no mount point. Down at the bottom here, there is a flag for swap. Say OK. We'll left click on the free space and say create again. And here I'm going to divide this about in half. Close enough. File system will be ext4. The mount point will be /, which indicates the administrator account or root account. Select OK. Left click on the free space there and say create. We're going to leave the size there alone. Well, it's pretty handy there. It's got 25 even. Mount point will be /home, and there is no flag for home, so we'll say OK. And there we go. We got a boot EFI partition. We got a swap partition, root partition or administrator account, and a home partition. So we're done. I'm going to say next. Asking me for my name, and I'm always curious, will they allow me to get away with a capital? And it did. We're going to leave the Dennis virtual box there. Let's see. Give it a password. Confirm the password. And it's shorter than 6 characters. However, it's got right here, require strong passwords checked. So I'm going to uncheck that. And now you could probably just put 1 character in there. I'm going to not log in automatically. It's going to ask for a password, but I am going to use the same password for the administrative account. All right, here's a summary of what all it's going to do. GPT partition table, partition the disk, and we've got the keyboard set up, 105 key PC, and here is what it's going to do to our hard drive. So I can find the start button. we go, install. All right, while that's doing that, let me see if we can fix the display here. 1680 by 1050, that'll work. Keep it right, Control F will put me into full screen, and now we got the entire screen. And we can see the installer doing its thing. So it's unpacking the image. It's already partitioned and formatted the disk. It's apparently it's downloading or has downloaded some packages here. It's unpacking them. Let's look at their menu real quick before we go back to the web page. Let me change this so it's more convenient for me. There we go. So under accessories, seems to be a little lag, and that's more than likely because it's in a virtual box. Okay, so we have the Xfce application finder, we have the Xfce bulk rename, the clipboard manager. GNOME disk is going to come in by default. Medit, a text editor, which is not a bad editor. Screenshot, which is an Xfce utility as well. Software token, both large and small, I'm assuming there. Yep. Okay, Thunar file manager. TLPUI, a GTK interface for TLP, Vim, and Xarchiver. Now they brought that in. That's not a Xfce software. So we got Libreoffice Math under Education. So that indicates that we're going to have the full suite of Office, LibreOffice. Under Graphics, LibreOffice Draw and ViewNow for our elegant image viewer. Under Internet, they give us the Chromium web browser and Thunderbird for our email client. Under Multimedia, Pulse Audio Volume Control and VLC Media Player. Under Office, we had this full suite of LibreOffice. Settings and System, let's see what we have under System. Add, remove software. So we got PalMac. Not sure if that's PalMac All, PalMac Classic, or PalMac AUR, not sure. We'll find out. CPUX, very nice utility for looking at details on your motherboard, your CPU, and a host of other things you can see and find out in CPUX. Disk Usage Analyzer, they brought that in. Firewall, they give us the firewall. Gparted, I'm not sure that'll stay there, but hope it does. Grub Customizer, that's a nice addition. HTOP by default. So we have managed printing, print settings. So we have a printer installed by default. It's just up to us to set it up. System monitor, GNOME system monitor. Nice choice of software. Thunar file manager, Xfce drop-down terminal, and the Xfce terminal. All right, so you can see they've customized their. Oops. Just out of curiosity, right now it's using less than a gig of RAM during the installation. All right, so that's their menu. Here we can see we've got the clipboard. These are all panels, if I'm not mistaken. They look like it. Under volume, we got no volume, but I'm going to turn it on, and I'll check if we're going to have volume by default. And there we go. Took a minute to go through the virtual machine and then into the host machine and out the speaker, I guess. Little lag there. All right, there's the indicator for PalMac. Let's see something here. Settings manager. See how many panels they do have set up. Where's the panel? Here, panel. There it is. All right, so panel 1. Let's unlock it, see what it says. All right, so panel 1 is the dock down at the bottom, or the panel down at the bottom. Lock that back up. Panel 2, let's unlock it and see where it's at. Up here, that's where your start menu is. Panel 3. There it is, where the clock is, the widget or whatever that might be called. Panel 4. There it is, for the right side of the taskbar, I would call that. So that's 4. That's all we can see, but it's listing 5. So it's got 5 in here that you, or 6, 2 extras that you can modify and change yourself. Not sure where they're at, but they're definitely already here for you to add your items. Like for here, let's add an item. Let's just say a launcher just to see. Add. Oh, all right, where did it go? Not seeing one. Maybe you need more in a launcher just to to see it. I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, that was awfully quick, wasn't it? It has the option untick to restart now, and that's great. So I'm gonna say done, and I'm gonna power off and remove the ISO. Go to settings, under storage, right click on the ISO, say OK after we've removed it, and let's start it up. And there's Grub, which they have a customized Lxde screen there. That's pretty nice. At least we're not stuck with just the default black screen with the little sign-in box. They did customize it. That's very nice. I expect great things out of this because of where it comes from and the work that's been done on it. And there's a hidden bonus in it for me. What may be real soon here, my daughter-in-law is from Japan, and she actually lived there. Press any enter key to log in. Okay. And she was actually living there when the tsunami hit and busted up the nuclear plants over there. And that's quite a story in itself, I'm sure. Let me turn that volume icon back on. Turn it up. Go to mixer, make sure we got sound. Yep, still that lag in it. All right. So it took us right immediately to their desktop or to their web page. Let me see if we can do something about this display again. Go 1680 by 1050. Say apply. Keep it and go into right control F to put us in full screen. Close that out. How come we didn't go into full screen? There we go. Thank you for installing AlterLinux. Please see the latest bugs, release information, and useful guides. Instead of a desktop, it opens up the browser, and you immediately get it. If there was any problems, this was dated January 10. So if there was anything in between there and now, I'm assuming that you'd get to read what it was. Let me close that out, and I can see we already got updates. And let's find out what that is. Sure, it's PalMac, but I don't know if it's the one that's what version of it is. Let's find out. So we got package manager with ALPM and AUR, Flatpak and Snap support. So this is PalMac-ALL, all. All right, nice. Now, let's go to the preferences here. Let me show you something. Under the General tab, you have this box right here. It's open or ticked by default on, and it's going to check for updates. So if that bothers you, if the little icon up here in the system tray bothers you about the updates and you don't like it, turn it off. All right, let's see what we got here. Advanced, check available disk space. Do not check from ignore. AUR, we're going to enable that, but I'm not going to let it update. I'm going to turn my cache down to 2, and you can see there's no cache at this point. And there we go, AUR. Now when I close this, should be able to exit here, and now it won't bother me anymore. Let's check for updates. Make sure the terminal is all upright. Sudo pacman-syyu. Ask me for my password. We got some updates. It already said this came out I'm pretty sure it came out in December 2020. Maybe it was January 2021. Yes, we're going to replace the Python, replace that, and we'll continue with the installation. So we got 1.3 gigabytes of download, but it's only going to net upgrade size is only going to be 144 megs. I love AlterLinux, I swear I do. All right, let's see. We've already looked at the menu. There's nothing new on here. We got the settings manager, add, remove software, terminal, screenshot, edit, a VLC media player, Thunderbird, Thunar, and Chromium web browser. Yeah. So this is not a bad editor, edit. I haven't used it a whole lot, but I've seen it around, and I have used it because it was available on a distribution that I was looking at the time, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. I just haven't used it. No reason. Anyway, let me right Control F, get out of full screen here, and go back to my desktop one. And at the AlterLinux project, if you click on download, you'll see here we got download. Tells you it uses a rolling release, and you get to select your architecture, so they still support 32-bit. How awesome is that? And your 64-bit, and then you get to choose an edition or a desktop. And I did the Xfce, but it's available in i3 Windows Manager and a Lxde and Cinnamon. And I read where they're working on some more. And you get to select your language, which would be Japanese, and in my case, it would be English. And you click on that, and it'll open up another page, and you'll be able to download it. Now, this is the OSDNet page. And under description, it says, AlterLinux is an Arch Linux-derived OS that has been developed by customizing the Arch ISO, Japan's first Arch Linux-derived OS developed in Japan. Nice. Equipped with the Xfce, which is uniquely customized to the standard desktop environment, enables easy operation. It can be installed easily with the GUI installer, graphical user interface installer. All settings, such as the network and disk, can be done with the GUI, making the best OS for migrating from Ubuntu and other sources. Since the repository is shared with Arch Linux, you can use the latest packages and use the rich information of the Arch Wiki as it is. Development is performed by the Fast Code Network, formerly SereneLinux team, which also handles SereneLinux. And it is the best OS that developers with abundant experience and technology are particular about making it easy for all users. And one thing, when you scroll down from the project page, you'll see their posts, and they're active, and you can see also my buddy Mario Linux found the volume icon problem, posted the solution to it, and as you saw, we have icon. So that's pretty good when you see somebody you actually know post a problem and then give the solution, and the next thing you know, it doesn't do it anymore. They corrected it. They listened and corrected the error. That is really nice. So if you click on downloads, you'll have some options there. List of packages, which is what I clicked on. It gives you some more about the description of them. You can find your release, your Cinnamon, and I'm going to scroll down pretty quick here. They have the Xfce, which is last, and this is the one that I got. That is December the 30th, 2020 is when this came out. So it's 4 months, a little over 4 months old at the time. But if I scroll back up, you can see they got the Lxde. And that's available in English and Japanese. We got i3, Cinnamon, and LX. What is this? Yeah, okay. So yeah, they got the Lxde, LXDE, I get that out in a minute. But when you start looking around in here, you're going to find some stuff that's still in Japanese, which is fine. I mean, that you can't expect them to do everything. Just out of curiosity, I highlighted this and I went to Google and I found this translator right here. And of course, I'll put the link in the description below. The one that I highlighted, it meant that might be true for any generation, but I get a strong sense that they are enjoying fashion freely, which is what where was it? Here. Yep, here. One of these, I think it was this one, cons. Might be wrong. One of those is what that means. Oh, okay. And like I said, let me bring up this here. I meant to have this open and I apologize for not doing it. This is a AlterLinux's YouTube video where he reviewed.
And granddad will...
Sorry. Little lag in my system. Where he reviewed it back in August of last year. He did a good job. That's, after I decided I found it on Distrowatch, you do a little search and find out what's been out there. And I discovered that he did it. And I'm awesome to follow. I feel awesome just to be able to follow behind him and post another one. What's so impressive, though, is he found an error, a problem, and he created a solution. He presented it to them. I don't know what they did, if they followed his exact advice or not, but whatever they did, it fixed it. Now, that says a ton for a distribution that listens and makes adjustments. So let's go back over here, see where we're at on the upload or the download. Control F, get me back in full screen. So yeah, we're still downloading. And it's awesome they got their pacman.conf file customized to show the percent. Very nice. Let's see. Of course, I'd customize the menu as well, but you can't say much about something like that. What did I open that up for? Not sure what I opened that up for. Let's go find that system monitor. Be under system monitor. See what we're pulling here while we're working, downloading and installing. Or I know what I brought the terminal up for. We're receiving at 2.2 megabytes, so it ought to be coming in pretty good. Using less than 4% of both CPUs. Even though it's downloading and dealing with that, it's still less than a gigabyte of RAM resources. Not bad. Let's see, is there a recently used? Nope. Just on Xfce terminal. Sudo nano /etc pacman.conf. Password. Let's see what they got down here. They got the color, the total download, but no Pacman. Sorry, I'm going to tweak it just a little more. And I want verbose package list. And let's see, do they have the multi-lib? They do. They have that included. Very nice. So in Nano, you control O, enter, and control X to get out of there. Yep, that's very nice. Let me try one more thing, see how they did that. Editor equals nano VISUDO. I'm just curious of how they handled the root user. So all those are commented. Oh, sudo is uncommented. Okay, let me control X because I didn't change anything. Oh, groups, Dennis. So Dennis is in the network group wheel, audio, LP, storage, video, users, pseudo group. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good. Of course, I'm going to add if I use this, I'll add myself to a few more, but those are pretty good choices. The wheel, of course, being the main one, and then you got audio and LP for networking and network group storage, video, users, and sudo. That's not bad. It wouldn't be fair for me to do a disk free because they're still downloading. But as of right now, it's got 7 gigs installed. And it's working on it. It's almost through, though. Well, really, there's no reason to hang out. We went through the menu. We went through these 3 taskbar. By the way, this is the restart button. This would be the suspend button. And this would be the shutdown or restart. What is that? Oh, that's the minimize all windows to the desktop. We went through these are all panels, and it leaves it open for you to add a panel. It's already put them in there. You just need to add stuff to them. Very nice. Let me get out of control full screen there by control F. We're going to conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you get a chance, download and at least try this. This seems to be a very nice system. In fact, I wanted to see one more thing. Wish there was a recently used there. I want to see Pacman-SS GVFS, and it is installed. And then I want to see USB utils, and it is installed. I want to see also, does it have NTFS-3G? And that's actually installed. If you pull a USB drive out of a Windows machine, stick it in here, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to recognize it. Now, I did not go into the settings and change the removable drives here. And you would have to do that if you want it to mount it right off. Otherwise, it's a matter of mounting it yourself. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm fixing to have to make a choice here. And we're going to say yes, because that's the default. Importing a new key. It's made all the downloads, and it's in the process of checking them out, and then it's going to install them. 338 packages. That's quite a quite a lot of number of packages. However, you saw that the actual update size was very small. So it's basically making improvements. We even got OS Prober, look at there. I mean, this is a well thought out system. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you on the next video. Peace out. Be kind to everybody and stay safe. Bye.